About 83% of you guys are not subscribed. Subscribing, clicking that like button, and commenting all help me out a lot in doing what I really want to do. Thank you guys so much for all your support.
What is going on, guys? Rogue TCG here bringing another Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG deck profile. You guys voted, and overwhelmingly, you guys wanted to see Budget Tenpai. Tenpai is a new addition to Yu-Gi-Oh! More recent in the TCG than in the OCG. It just came out recently, Legacy of Destruction in the TCG, and it is a very cheap archetype, actually. The only two cards in archetype technically that are above a common rarity are Tenpai Dragon Pydra and Sengenpai Transcendent Dragon. These are the only cards that are above common, and they are actually both super rare. With Pydra actually carrying a lot of the cost, being around $20 a copy, being kind of pricey. But what this deck does is it wants to OTK your opponent when you're going second and provide infinite hand traps and interactions when you're going first or otherwise. This deck can pretty much OTK through almost anything. This build specifically can't do the, 34,000 damage. This build can't do that. Since we aren't running Trident Dragion, because it is I think it's above $100 now, which is kind of nuts to think about Trident Dragion being that expensive. This list tries to play without it and tries to do some other things instead of the just bread and butter OTK. Not saying it can't OTK, it definitely still can. However, this is kind of more of a toolboxy version instead of just that streamlined OTK, because we're missing Trident Dragion, of course. But that is enough yapping from me. Let us get into the profile. Starting off the list, we are on triple Tenpai Dragon Pydra. If it's normal or special, you can add or set a Sangan spell trap from your deck. I am always going to pronounce that Sangan, do not correct me. Functionally, what this does is it gets our starter card, which is our field spell, which is also the best card in the deck because it's Miscellaneous Saurus that also searches a card and also doubles attack. It's actually crazy. So this searches this, which gets the whole combo online. So Sangan Summoning or Tenpai Dragon Pydra is a one-card combo for OTK functionally. We are on 2 Tenpai Dragon Fadra. If it's normal or special at the start of the damage step, you can monster control battles. You can target one level 4 or lower fire dragon in your grave. Special, you can only use each effect of Fadra once per turn. You can only use that effect of Fadra once per turn. Your fire dragon monsters can't be destroyed by battle, and then once per turn during the battle phase, you can quick effect immediately after this effect resolves. Synchro summon using this card you control. All of these Tenpais are going to have that effect on them, and that synchro summoning effect is not once per turn. So do keep that in mind. That is not once per turn, and that is how they just synchro climb to infinitum during the battle phase. And then lastly, on our main deck monsters, we are on triple Tenpai Dragon Chandra. Once per turn during the battle phase, you can quick effect immediately after this effect resolves. Synchro summon using this card you control. You can use each of the following effects of Chandra once per turn. If you control a fire dragon, you can special it from your hand. And at the start of the damage step of a monster battles, you can special summon one level 4 or lower fire dragon monster from your deck, except for Chandra. Do keep in mind that is during Do keep in mind that is during the damage step, so it can't be interacted with a lot of different interaction points. Specifically, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring can't stop Chandra if you do it during the damage step, so do keep that in mind. And Chandra is incredibly strong, being the only level 4 monster in the archetype as of right now. We are on 1 Terraforming in order to search the field spell, and we are on triple field spell, Sangan Summoning. I already briefly went over what it does, but I'm going to go over it once more just to give a more complete description. During your main phase, fire dragon monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. During your main phase, you can add 1 Tenpai Dragon monster from your deck to your hand, then discard a card. And you can use each effect of Sangan Summoning once per turn. If this card is destroyed during the battle phase, you can target 1 Dragon Synchro monster you control and double its attack. So this is how you'd initially do the Trident Dragion OTK, because you'd pop this in one of your other Tenpais, and then this would give the Trident Dragion another 3,000 attack, and since you pop 2 cards, it can attack 3 times, making that 9,000 damage right there. Next, we are on Triple Sangan Kaiman, another one of the starters. Apply one of these effects. If you activate it during the battle phase, you can do both. You can either add one level 4 or lower fire dragon from your deck to your hand, or you can special summon one fire dragon from your hand. You can always activate one of it, only activate one of it per turn. So if you do it during the battle phase, you do get to, like, search that Chandra and then special it, which functionally does everything you would ever want it to do. That's it for the main deck engine. Nice solid 15 cards for the actual engine cards. Now let's go on to non-engine cards and consistency cards. For consistency, we're on Triple Pot of Prosperity since we can kill through it. And then we are on one Called by the Grave to stop hand traps. Then we are on Double Forbidden Droplet for non-engine, just because a lot of our list is going to be non-engine, because this is Tenpai Dragon. So this is one of the specialties of this deck, just being able to play 25 or more non-engine cards. So these are just the ones I chose, and depending on which ones you choose, the price of the list is going to fluctuate. We are on double Nibiru the Primal Being, double Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, because it's a dragon and we're in a Link-centric meta right now, and it's searchable with Bestial Magnuma, which is our next card, which is also able to search any one of our Tenpais, which is really strong. We're on triple Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, double Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit for the mirror match, triple Droll and Lockbird for Snake Eye, triple Effect Veiler just because it's a good card, and triple Infinite Impermanence. That's it for our main deck, a nice solid 40. Now let's go on to our extra. Our extra is where things are going to stop looking super standardized and start looking a lot different. We're on one Striker Dragon in order to be able to link off any dragon we need to, just in case. We're on one Heraldic Spheres of the Seal of the Heavenly Spheres, just to be able to end on the best board known to man if we're going first. We're on one IT Masquerena, just because we can. Like, it is probably better if we ran an SP Little Knight or Nightmare Unicorn, but, that's life. We could definitely probably cut one Transcendent Dragion if you really wanted to play the SP or the Unicorn, though. We're on one Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. If it's special or a level 5 or higher is special to your opponent's field, target a special summon monster your opponent controls and bounce it to their hand. And that's all hard once per turn. We're on one Black Rose Dragon, so we can actually just make this in the battle phase in order to wipe our opponent's board during the battle phase, since we're all working with fire dragons and it's a synchro monster that can be made with Chandra and Pydra, or Chandra and Fadra. Then we are on our Tenpais. We're on two Sangenpai Bident Dragon. He's a dragon tuner and a non-dragon monster. If it's synchro summon, you can target a fire dragon in your grave and special summon it. You can't special the rest of the turn except for dragons. If 3 or more attacks have been declared this turn, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, then destroy one spell trap on the field. Another way to trigger our field spell. And then that is a once per tool. That second effect is a once per tool to special it from the graveyard, and its first effect to Reborn is not a once per duel, but it is a once per turn. Next, we're on double copies of Sangenpai Transcendent Dragion. He's a dragon tuner and one more non-tuner dragon monsters. All monsters your opponent controls must attack if able. Your opponent can't activate cards or effects during the battle phase, functionally locking them out. When this card hits the board, the game is functionally over. If this card is synchro summoned, you can change all monsters on the field to attack position. If 3 or more attacks have been declared this turn, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your graveyard and destroy one card in the field. You can use this effect of Sangenpai Transcendent Dragion once per duel. We're on one Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, just because we could theoretically make it if we had Veiler and Bident Dragon or something like that, Bident Blast. We're on one Ancient Fairy Dragon. This is for our side deck cards and also allows us to search for our Sangen Summoning field spell. We're on one Ruddy Rose Dragon. It's the Synchro 10 Dragon that is somewhat alright and it can banish the graveyards. We're on one Time Lord Progenitor Vorpgate, just to get rid of problematic cards. We're on one Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign Chungus, just really good against certain matchups. And then this is going to work with our Ancient Fairy. We are on one copy of Ultimaya's Zulkin, just because it can be made by using 2 level 5 or higher monsters at the same level to the graveyard, one being a tuner, one being a non-tuner, with Bident Dragon being a tuner, and Black Rose or Moonlight Dragon or even Ancient Fairy Dragon being a level 7 non-tuner. So what we can do is if we make our Bident Dragon, or Bident Blast, we can go Ancient Fairy Dragon to search, if we have a field spell, we can search another field spell, and then we can put both of them into Zulkin, set that field spell we just searched in order to cheat out our Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. And that's just something we can potentially do when we're going first. But that is it for the extra. really cheap extra, not even $30, so pretty nice for budget players. And speaking of not even $30, let's go to our side deck. In our side deck, we're on 1 Saronir and 1 Baldric to pair with that Magma because they're the cheapest ones. We're on triple Cosmic Cyclone for the mirror match, 2 Lightning Storm because we're a blind second deck, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Book of Moon, triple Necro Valley, and triple Gravekeeper's Commandant. So Necro Valley is, like, my opinion, the next best field spell in order to shut down decks in general. And when we're forced to go first, we put up a Necro Valley. We can do that thing that I was mentioning with Ancient Fairy Dragon. We can start with a Sangan Summoning in order to get our combo started so we can actually make the Ancient Fairy Dragon and the Biden Dragon, the Biden Blast. But we can replace our field spell for a Necro Valley and end on, again, Zul'Kin Crystal Wing field spell being Necro Valley, and that is a little bit harder to deal with than just Crystal Wing or just Necro Valley by itself. And then Commandant is just to be copies of Necro Valley 4 through 6. But that's about the end of the profile. Please tell me your thoughts about this deck in the description below. I want to hear what you think about it. Tell me what you are going to be playing in this meta for a budget deck, and I'm going to be seeing you all later. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. Bye-bye! Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you wanted to talk to more Yu-Gi-Oh! Players like yourself, I would highly recommend checking out our Discord server. Link is going to be in the description, as well as the QR code on screen. We do talk somewhat frequently about Yu-Gi-Oh! And the current meta, so I would really enjoy to see you there. As well as we do recently now have channel memberships available on our YouTube channel, where we have 3 different tiers. We have Super Supporter at $2 a month, where you get loyalty badges, emojis, guaranteed comment responses, a shout out at the end of every video, as well as access to the members only Discord channel, where you get early sneak peeks at future videos. There is the Giga Supporter at $5 a month, where you have early access to all new videos about a day or 2 before they go up, as well as all the previous offers. And for $15 a month, we do have our final tier, which is going to be Femboy Fanatic. You get a guaranteed customized video every single month, as well as 1 hour of my time. Could be for anything you'd like. You want a duel? Absolutely. You want me to help build a deck? Absolutely. You want to play some Helldivers? Sure. I'll do anything for an hour once a month. But supporting does help me out quite a lot, and it does help me produce all of these videos. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be seeing y'all later. Bye-bye.